All right, what's up, y'all? So today we're gonna be doing some more work on the truck, but redneck engineering for doing the Gott mod to this guy right here. Let me grab our supplies. So we've got this big boy. I need to cut it down, obviously a lot shorter, but I couldn't buy it PVC pipe and anything shorter. But essentially, this tube is 3 inches in diameter, but right where it gets into the truck in the fender wall, it goes down to about 1.5 inches. So the point is to stick this PVC pipe in there, connect it to this part, and open it up, let it breathe a little better. We'll see if there is any better throttle response. I'll do a sound check before and after, and then just give my honest opinion on if there is. Scientifically, it's just going to be sucking in more air, so it should have better throttle response, more than just placebo. And then eventually that'll be paired with a bigger throttle body. So let's see how it goes. Record the process, see how it goes. Couldn't find anything on YouTube doing it on the 4.6 and for this year model. So just gonna kind of go with the diagram that's on the Ford forums and put this out there for my findings. All right, first things first, we got to take this off. Should be able to just move this part out of the way instead of just completely taking it off. We'll see. I may end up taking it completely off. It's not hard labor, so it's no big deal. Yeah, also, hey, number one thing, unplug your battery. If you're going to be doing this, do that first, and then let your truck run for 10 minutes afterwards. That way your truck can reset, because your math sensor is going to be bonkers for a little bit, but unhooking your battery is going to reset your PCM and all that good stuff. That way, when you have bigger airflow, it'll calibrate like, oh, hey, we have more airflow. So you can actually use the power gains and let it sit to calibrate for a few minutes before you start driving. So that's first thing. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, let's move it out of the way. Yeah, so we're gonna unhook all this. All right, that's easy. You just move that tab, pull it out. There's this. Okay, so there's wire down here. So it's right under here, next to your power steering fluid. Okay, there is a little tab on this connector that's coming this way. Just push it down. It's pretty flimsy, so be careful. But just pull it apart, and you're good. Okay, we are just gonna take this whole thing out, off. It's really not hard. All you gotta do, all right, we already unhooked all this stuff. Let's take this clamp, hose clamp. Here goes my dog. He doesn't know it's me working out here, and neighbor just pulled in. There we go. Take that off, and then you get this whole piece. See, there's that wire, that connector. Just kind of I'm gonna set this in my bed, and then I'll end up getting a high flow filter for it as well, but not in the budget currently. Throttle body, that'll be getting going pretty soon. I'm gonna do that at the same time I do headers in a tune. So now we gotta get this bad boy off, which I'm not entirely sure how to do. I honestly think you just pull it. So if it breaks, it breaks. I'm scared to break it. Okay, so you do literally just pull it out, just gotta manhandle it. All right. And comes out just like that. Easy peasy, and throw this in the bed. If you saw, I did crack this piece getting it out, but we're not gonna use that. So same thing, you pull it out. And here is a big issue. You can see that this hole, I'll get a closer view in a second, but this is about 3-inch diameter. This is not. So you're only sucking in this much air. You're not sucking in this much air. Get my Harbor Freight measuring tape out. So about 3¼ inches across. And this is about 3 inches across, but this actual opening, see if I can get an actual good measurement. Just under 2 inches, if that. I mean, it tapers down on the inside, so from what I read, it's about 1/4 and 3 inches. So that's a big difference to 3 inches, especially when you're dealing with airflow. So that's the point where we're replacing this. So that's the hole. Yeah, good size. It is about 3½ inches in diameter, it looks like. Yeah, something like that. If I can actually get it in there, this hose is in the way. I mean, that's not perfectly in the middle, but yeah, about 3½. So, next step. Okay, so I gotta do a little bit more measuring because here I bought a 5-foot pipe. I'll have plenty to work with if I gotta make more cuts, but so we gotta cut this down to shape. I gotta do a little bit more measuring, but essentially, here's how it's gonna go. Right, we have the PVC collar. I went ahead and shoved it on this because it's difficult getting it on this part, but it fits. Right, I want to make sure it fit, and then we're shoving it like so. So there we go, and it's just they touch, and then you'll tighten it down, and it creates a good airflow. There's not gonna be any leaks in between here, right? Because this is right, just like how a normal air filter works. These secure it, so that's how it works. Is how it fits on, so it does fit properly. And then this part is gonna go about 2 inches in. I just realized I can actually measure it like that. I am gonna put this in and measure it out, but it's gonna be 2 inches. It should be about from this. It's gonna be 2 inches into that hole, so that way it hits the other side of the wall and creates a decent suction. But yeah, that's how it fits on. All right, I'm just gonna show you all this really quick. Let me set this measuring tape down. So this, if I set it where it's supposed to go, that the hose collar touches the wall. So I'm worried about the fitment. Like obviously that's perfect fit, but getting it in there is the problem. So we'll see how well that does. I might have to like finagle it like that and then lift it weird to get these in the hole. So we'll see. I might end up having to get a smaller collar, but first test run of trying to figure out how much length I need. So this to the edge of the air filter box to the edge of this is about 3 inches, or 2½, 2 3/4. Okay, so 2 3/4, and then let me get stacking it from this side of the wall, just touching it. If it wants to focus on the point I want it to, just touching it to then this edge is about 2 inches. So I'm thinking do like a 4-inch cut, because it doesn't need, really the PVC pipe doesn't need to touch this. It needs to get about here, just so it has enough, you know, space for this to clamp onto it. Is that so? Really, I could do, I mean, how long is that? 1.5 inches. And 2 inches. So I could do like 3½, 3 3/4 inch pipe. So I think I'm gonna start like that. And just so I have room to get this onto there. Because if I do it all the way, touching that, I don't think I can actually get it on. So we'll see if my theory works. So 3 3/4 inch. So we're gonna do on the pipe. All right, we got all the measurements. So I marked this. It's about 3 3/4 inch on the outside of this line. Just about, because I changed my measurement on what I want to do, because this is in between 3/4 and 3.5. I don't feel like doing the math to figure out what number that is. So just outside of this line, on this side, is 3 3/4. Now we got this, and I'm gonna go like that and rotate this. There's better ways to do this, but this is the most makeshift, and we have a truck, so we're gonna use it.
You want me to hold it down or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you hold the end down. Just hold. Keep it still.
Ready?
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta remember how to use this. Okay. Should I wear gloves?
Yes.
Okay, we're wearing gloves. These are like the waterproof ones for pressure washing, but I ain't doing that anymore. I gotta take it slow, and I'll be rotating this. So, alright. Right there. Ooh, very nice.
What are you gonna do with the rest of the pipe?
It's just gonna go in the garage. Or if we gotta make more cuts, we got another 4.5 feet. All right, now we test fit. Okay, this part doesn't immediately just fit in there. It's actually pretty close, which is surprising. So I don't have to do too much. But now it's the annoying, tedious part of getting the Dremel and thinning this out. Because that's gonna be the fun part. But off we go. Cool. Stay. Good boy. Okay, now 2 inches from this end is right here. So I need to grind this down so it can fit properly into the hole and reach the other side. It's not gonna be a flush fit. Actually, I'm also gonna try and make this as flat as possible too. Okay, now what I said about the measurements is correct. However, using a Dremel, okay, I cut some parts out of the video. Using a Dremel is not advised, or at least a cheap one. Or honestly, maybe even one you care about. The Dremel that I used, Chicago Power Tools, 30 bucks from Harbor Freight, it broke. And here's the clip. Okay. Yeah, it got a little bit done, but like 2% of what I needed done. As well as the Dremel just wasn't very efficient. I would honestly suggest, if you can, use a grinder, which is what I'm about to move to, but use a grinder because the Dremel just broke. The dust from the PVC made the engine from the Dremel just boop, gone. So be careful because you might break your Dremel. So if you can, use a grinder. I've got one from DeWalt, so I used that. It's also more efficient. So if you can, use that. So, I want to show y'all. Here it is. So, I gotta hammer it back in. I tried pulling it out. It literally won't come back out. But, I had to really grind it down. So, if you have a grinder, seriously, I would suggest using that. Because, I mean, you can see the ledge from here. So, really had to get it in there. I didn't grind it down perfectly. That's why I had to hammer it in there. But now I know it's snug and it's not coming out. So it's in there. So now to put the whole thing back together. Also, pro tip, make sure these clamps are rotated at a spot you can reach them. Now, to get this to actually reach on there is the problem. Oh my gosh, I did it.
Hot.
But I have an idea. If I just push this part all the way to the wall, which what I need to do anyways, because now that's in there, so I need to do that.
Come here, Ratchet.
How much more airflow are you getting? Let's see. You ready?
Turbo in! Yeah, make sure these are turned in a direction you can reach it with just a screwdriver because it makes it easier. Now, let me get a better camera angle on this. Okay, you can see where, you can still see the PVC, the white with the blue. I'm just gonna try and move this down a few to where it's touching the wall. And now, there's still a snug fit, but it covers up the entire PVC pipe for good airflow. Now we just tighten these, put it all back together.
Almost done? Yes, sir. Wop, pop, pop, pop.
Turbo that thing! Now,
That's gone forever. Forever. You're never getting that back. That's gonna be your new rod knock.
and it's going. It just clicks right on there. Get a better angle of it. So, I got this, is attached to the wiring harness. And then this bad boy, which is attached to this thing. I think it's the MAF.
Math airflow sensor, yeah.
Clicks right there. This bad boy clicks. Just gotta line these holes up. Like so, kinda, if it wants to. Hold on. This is actually Ford's worst design ever. There we go. Hold on. These suck to get on. Huh?
Clamp.
There it is. Wind up. All on it? Yeah. Alright, get a shot of that. All this, look, it looks stock now. It looks like that's supposed to be there.
Sleeper.
Yes, sir. Alright, now we connect the battery. And then we let it idle for 10 minutes so it can understand its new airflow before we go drive it. Just let it idle. And we're set. And we start her up. Once it just blows up. It's secure, we did it! Alright, we'll let it idle. Alright, so it's been a solid week of driving around like this. And with the Gott mod, have I noticed a difference? That is the question. A little bit, actually. I feel like it's better off the line. Mid-range, high-end, I'm not really feeling a difference. I don't hear a difference. I know I talked about a sound test, but not happening because it doesn't sound any different. What I will say is off the line, I do feel a bit more response. It feels like it kind of goes a little quicker. It's nice, but it's not a lot. So is it worth it? I would say yes. A lot of people have done this to their trucks. A lot of people say they like it. So if you feel the difference, if you have the time, then I would say it's worth it. It's not expensive. I mean, the materials are like $30 if you already have the tools, and it's pretty easy to do. It's fun to do as well. So I mean, if you just want to kill some time, you want to do something, a little something to your truck, I would say do it, definitely. It's fun, it's cheap. Here's where I'm thinking, well, maybe it's gonna be a little bit more worth it, is when I get a throttle body or tuning it. Now, when I go to tune it, I'm going to eventually buy a closed box cold air intake, just because I got 5-star tunes. You can put in exactly what intake you have. And, you know, so with that info, I think they'll be able to tune it better, because they'll know, oh, okay, well, it's this closed box intake. As well as the closed box, they have two intakes from the wheel well there, and then it looks like it's trying to take it from the headlight. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's the eventual goal. Yeah, I would say, I mean, it was fun to do, so I would say do it. I would say do it again if you have some time to kill. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you watch this as a guide, hopefully I gave enough information, but it's pretty straightforward. Everything, you know, you grind it down, you make it fit, you unhook a bunch of things. Again, I wanted to make this for kind of document the journey, and I didn't see videos on doing the Gott mod on the 4.6, especially. I haven't even seen videos on the Gott mod in the past 5 years. So hopefully this helped, hopefully you enjoyed, and the next steps we'll see to be announced. So subscribe if you want to stay, tuned in on this journey. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.